Delimitation is the process of redrawing the boundaries of electoral constituencies to ensure fair representation based on population changes. The Indian government is now considering rising delimitation, which could significantly impact the political landscape, governance, and representation in a country. In this video, we will delve into the history of delimitation in India, the central government's reason for revisiting the issue, its political and social implications, and the challenges involved. First thing, we have to know the historical context of delimitation in India. The concept of delimitation in India dates back to the colonial period, but after independence, it became a crucial part of the democratic process. The Delimitation Commission was set up multiple times under the Delimitation Acts of 1952, 1962, 1972 and 2002. However, due to concerns about regional disparities, the 42nd Constitutional Amendment in 1976 froze the total number of Lok Sabha and State Assembly seats based on the 1971 census despite population growth. This freeze was extended until 2026 by the 84th Constitutional Amendment in 2002. Now, as 2026 approaches, discussions on increasing the number of constituencies through delimitation have gained momentum. The government argues that India's demographic shifts require a more equitable distribution political representation. Now we should know the reasons for rising delimitation. First one, population growth and unequal representation. The primary reason for rising delimitation is the uneven population growth across states. While states in North India like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar have seen significant population increases, states in South India such as Kerala and Tamil Nadu have achieved population control. The current system disproportionately benefits states with lower population growth, since the number of constituencies has remained unchanged since 1971. And second one is democratic fairness. A fundamental principle of democracy is equal representation. Currently, an MP from Uttar Pradesh represents far more people than an MP from a southern state. This imbalance creates a scenario where some citizens have a stronger voice in parliament than others, undermining principle of one person, one vote. And third one is urbanization and migration. With rapid urbanization, many metropolitan areas now have population exceeding entire states but are still represented by a limited number of MPs. Similarly, long-scale migration from rural to urban areas has altered demographic distributions, making the existing parliamentary map outdated. And fourth one is economic and political reforms. The central government aims to modernize governance and improve administrative efficiency by ensuring better representation. More MPs could mean better policy discussions, improving governance, and more localized problem solving at the parliamentary level. Now we should know the impact of political and social implications of delimitation. First one, impact on southern states. Southern states have successfully implemented family planning policies which have resulted in controlled population growth. However, if seats are allocated strictly based on population, these states may lose their political influence in parliament despite their higher economic contribution to the nation. This has led to opposition from southern leaders who argue that they should not be punished for successful governance. And second one is advantages to North Indian states. States like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh, which have high population growth, are expected to gain more parliamentary seats. This shift in political power could influence national policies, leading to potential regional tensions between the south and north states. Third one is challenges to federalism. India follows a federal system where both state and union share power. A drastic shift in representation could weaken state governments' influence in national policy making. Some states with fewer MPs may have less bargaining power in resource allocating and decision making. And fourth one is communal and caste considerations. With an increase in seats, caste and religious representation will also come under scrutiny. Political parties may attempt to redraw constituency boundaries in a way that benefits specific caste or religious groups, potentially deepening vote bank policies. Now, challenges in implementing delimitation. First thing, political resistance. The biggest challenge is opposition from states that stand to lose political representation. Southern states argue that increasing seats purely on a population basis is unfair and could result in a national policies that do not align with their developmental priorities. And second one is legal and constitutional hurdles. Since delimitation is currently frozen until 2026, any changes would require a constitutional amendment. This would need a two-third majority in parliament, which might be difficult to achieve due to opposition from various political parties. And third one is redrawing boundaries fairly. Redistricting constituencies is a complex process that must ensure equal representation while maintaining social balance. Any bias of gerrymandering, that's called manipulating boundaries to favor a particular party, could lead to unfair advantages for certain political group. And fourth one, public reaction and regional unrest. Delimitation is a sensitive issue that could trigger public protests and regional unrest, particularly in states that feel disadvantaged by the new arrangement. Managing public perceptions and ensuring fairness will be a critical challenge. Then think possible solutions and way forward. First thing is balanced representation formula. One possible solution is to increase overall parliamentary seats while ensuring that no region is unfairly disadvantaged. Instead of relying solely on population numbers, a weighted formula considering economic distributions, development levels, and governance efficiency could be used. And second one is decentralization of power. To address concerns about loss of political influence, the government could promote greater decentralization, giving more autonomy to state governments. This could help balance the power shift resulting from delimitation. And third one is fair and transparent delimitation commission. A neutral delimitation commission composed of experts and representatives from all regions should be responsible for redrawing boundaries. The process must be transparent, data-driven, and free from political interference. And fourth one is public awareness and consensus building. Since delimitation affects every citizen, the government must educate the public, engage in dialogue with opposition parties, and create a consensus before implementing changes. National discussions through public consultations and parliamentary debates will be crucial. Now, the central government's decision to raise delimitation is a historic move that could redefine India's political landscape while it aims to ensure fair representation based on the population. It also poses significant challenges related to regional disparities, federalism, and governance. Addressing these challenges requires a balanced approach that respects demographic realities while preserving national unity and fairness. If handled wisely, delimitation can strengthen India's democracy, ensuring that every citizen's voice is fairly represented in the governance of the country. However, failures to address regional concerns could lead to political instability and long-term dissatisfaction among different parts of the nation. Key lies in finding a middle path that promotes both justice and unity. And subscribe for more videos.